This is Mr. Tate. This video I kind of wanted to go over the syllabus, kind of go over Canvas, Edpuzzle a little bit more, and kind of segue into Big Ideas. However, as of right now, Big Ideas is still not working at the moment, so I will put a video up. Most of you probably already saw this video from last quarter, but it is kind of give you an idea of how to use Big Ideas for our homework. So starting, my name's Mr. Tate, if I hadn't already said. I'm kind of going to be talking about both Algebra 1A and 1B. We have a very similar structure in the class. There are just going to be a few differences here and there. So you guys can skim through the syllabus on your own too. You'll see my contact information. I will say though that the very best way to contact me is through Remind. And I'll kind of go over how to add. If you guys have never used Remind before, it is just a way you can sign up to get notifications on your phone, through text messages, through an app, or online, or email. Since we don't see each other face to face, this is very important that you sign up, and you are responsible to sign up, because I will be sending out important information, and you're responsible to know that, and you're expected to know that. Also, I also will send out personal messages or individual messages to each student, and you can also use that, of course, to message me for help or if you have questions or anything like that. Going forward, a couple of the difference, I have our classes at the same time, 8 to 8:45. However, Algebra 1A we meet on Tuesdays and 1B we meet on Thursdays. And just a heads up, 45 minutes, especially for people that stroll in a few minutes late. 45 minutes is pretty short, so I do tend to run over and sometimes go to 9 and even 9:30. You are welcome to leave at the designated times, but there's a lot of information to cover, so however long you can stay or however much you can come in outside of our class will be very helpful for you this quarter. Okay, I kind of talked about Remind already, so I will skip over that. A few of the other sites we'll be using this quarter are Canvas, Edpuzzle, and Big Ideas Math. Canvas we'll talk about in just a moment. You guys probably already got to it from the orientation page, or you've already been using it in the past. So things that I'll put on here are a copy of the syllabus, the schedule if you lose those. I will also be putting up review type resources such as practice tests, practice reviews, videos going through those. Also, I will try to record as many of the classes that I can. That way, if you do miss and you wanted to watch, you can watch those on your own. You can message me on Canvas. However, like I say, Remind is the best way to reach me just because I see it so many different places. And Canvas, I have to go on and check, and I don't always go on Canvas to check things like that. Edpuzzle, we'll get into, which you probably already on since you are watching this video. You are basically assigned videos, 2 to 3 assignments a week. So that means not 2 to 3 videos, but 2 to 3 sections worth of videos. And you're responsible to watch all of those for full credit. And it's basically, I'm giving you points for like going to class. And since we don't meet on a daily basis, we have to substitute some way for you to get that information so you're not just nose in a textbook trying to make sense. As we go along, year to year, the videos become more and more effective, but I try to include all the videos that they have in the textbook and then throw in a few extra videos that will supplement and kind of go over more like the concept stuff. You can expect less than 20, more than 20. Don't be overwhelmed. There may seem like a lot, but most of the videos are short example videos or exercise videos, and they'll be less than a minute most of the time. The only ones that are a little bit longer are the ones that I add in, and I try to keep those less than 5 minutes. Big Ideas Math is where we will be doing our homework. You will have access to the textbook online as well as a bunch of other resources. You also can check out a textbook from our testing center, so don't feel like you do not have access to that. You can definitely do that. Some of us like just the online version, some of us like the physical, like hard copy version, and then you can use both, and I like to use both. teaching wise, and I know it's nice to have as a student for both too. And then to sign up for Remind, if you have not already signed up for our class and you're not coming from third quarter, you do need to text. If you have a smartphone, you can text 81010, and the message will be either at A1A-SP's 2018 or one variation, the B over here for our Algebra 1B kids. Some carriers do not accept that 81010 number, so you will have to type in this number instead and use the same message. Now, you don't have to sign up on your phone. You can sign up online. There are other ways to sign up, and if you have trouble signing up, just let me know. If you sign up on the app or you sign up on the website, you shouldn't have to use the @ symbol. It'll just be the A1A-SP 2018 or A1B-SP 2018. All right, if you wanted to click the link to join those, these links are here for you. Now, Canvas and Edpuzzle, most of you guys should already be signed into these things, including all my new students. I tried to go in and already enroll you into all of those sites, so including kids that are not in my homeroom. So that'll help you out, because if you're new, you have to go into the orientation websites. It is your username, which would be your student ID, and you're followed by the school email, and then your password, your 8-digit birthday. It'll be very similar for your Edpuzzle account, except without the email part, unless you created your own password or username already, or some of you guys, your username was already taken, so I might have done a variation of your student ID number and then KMA either in the beginning or at the end of the number. To sign into Big Ideas Math, you can go to the following website. I usually can just type bigideasmath.com, and then after a few times if using that website, it'll automatically come up in your search engine. It's a little bit different, and I'll show you how to log in shortly. You click Login with Clever before actually typing any of the username information, and then once you go there, it takes you to a new page where you have to find the school. So you would start typing in Keith McCarthy, and it's really Keith McCarthy Academy, of course. Then you click on the Login with Active Directory, and then it would be the same as your Canvas login information, which is your student ID, the @lausd.k12.ca.us, and then your 8-digit birthday as your password. All right. Now going into the breakdown, you'll notice that both classes, they're going to be out of 1,000 points for this quarter. A point is a point. A test, 100 points, is the same as 5 Big Ideas homework assignments, because each of those are 20 points each. I do not weight them. They're just worth more points. So it does make it very easy towards the end to calculate what you need to get to. Those, like setting the bar kind of low, 600 points is the bare minimum you need to get with a D-. However, you guys can figure out 700, 800, 900 to figure out the different letter grades that you can get. Now, there is a 20-point assignment tied into this orientation week, including 5 points for extra credit. What I need you to do, including my students that have already signed up for these, sign up into Remind and send me a message with your first and last name and your class, whether it's Algebra 1A or I guess this should be Algebra 1B instead. On Canvas, I need you to go in and update your profile picture with a relatively recent picture of yourself. This just shows me that you can log into Canvas. You actually have to go and change something. Also, it helps me just because a lot of you guys have really outdated pictures on Infinite Campus or no picture at all. So it's nice for me to get your face and your name down a little bit quicker. Edpuzzle, you need to go through all the orientation videos, which includes this one you're watching right now, and probably just the Big Ideas video, because I will try to talk about Canvas in this video and starting Big Ideas. Let's see. Big Ideas, all of the homework assignments will be worth 20 points. And the videos for each section will be worth 8 points. That's a little bit different because last quarter they were worth 10 points. Okay. Those videos that you go in, some of them will have questions to respond to, some of them will have notes, some of them will have audio comments. You're responsible for going through and taking these seriously, because this is a very helpful way to help you learn. We'll talk more and more about that and you guys will be very comfortable with that if you haven't been using it already. And then something new this quarter that we'll have as a project are these Canvas/Edpuzzle student projects. Essentially what they are is you are going to be finding a video for each chapter, something from one of the sections covered, and a instructional video that you could find useful for yourself and then would be useful maybe for other students. So using Edpuzzle, I put a lot of the videos together from both the textbook and the additional ones I find. But when you move on to another class, and I'm not putting these together for you on Edpuzzle, if you get stuck on something, a very good resource is to go to YouTube or other sites. So I want you guys to start practicing doing that. For the second 2 chapter student projects, you will have to do a little bit more. Instead of uploading it onto Canvas, it'll be onto Edpuzzle, and you guys will do kind of some of the customization that I do when I customize some of the videos on Edpuzzle. Tests are about 100 points each. The only variation is in Algebra 1A. The Chapter 6 test will only be 76 points because we're only going to go through part of the chapter. And the final is actually 150 points, but I will curve it to 140, so there's a little bit of room for extra credit there too. Now, the rest is all the same, so I will just zoom in here. We have the assignments, and I can show you guys the schedule on Canvas, but there's no late penalty for those big idea homework or Edpuzzle videos being late. So I want you to make them up if you miss them. However, I only guarantee that I'll check the assignments once. So if you do finish any of those late, you need to let me know that you finished them late, whether messaging me on Remind or coming in and getting the confirmation that I do change them, okay? Sometimes you guys will message me and I'm out or I'm just crazy busy, and then I don't want to forget about it. So make sure you do get the confirmation that I change it. A lot of times it is easier if you're already on campus to log on to one of the laptops or the computers and then just show me, or logging onto your phone. For exams, that's the really only thing late that kind of has a deadline. You can only take an exam 1 week past the date, and that's to do with test corrections, which we'll get into in a minute. But there is scheduled dates for the tests, and we will go over in class. I will post them on Remind, and you will see them on the schedule. You guys will only have 1 week to make those up, so plan accordingly. Don't wait till the last day, because if an emergency comes up, then that's kind of like, that's too late, because starting the next day in class, I will be passing them back out for students to do test corrections, and they will already be out for students to see and do whatever with. So that is why there is a 1 week deadline on being able to make up exams. And then the test, we will talk about test corrections, but the additional week to make an exam does not apply to the final, because the final is given during the last week, so I can't give you any time past that. All right, now something helpful and to help encourage you guys to stay on track and stay on pace is, if you stay on pace with all of your homework and your Edpuzzle videos, you're allowed to do test corrections if you take the test on time and for half points back. So how that works is, if you have a test on a Friday, as long as all your videos and your homework are done by that Friday up until that point, doesn't matter if maybe the very first section of the chapter you did that one late, as long as they're all complete and caught up by the time of the test date and you take the test on that date, you are good to do the test corrections. If you do qualify and we do these test corrections, then I will be giving out specified times to meet with me. Usually it's within a week and a half after, to make up those corrections. And how it works is, you come in and we work together redoing the problems that you lost points on, and kind of going over what we were confused on and maybe re-clarifying anything. I do want to disclaim or say that when we meet for test corrections, it is supposed to be a time for discussing and clarifying any of those misconceptions, but it's not intended to be a time for me to reteach or to teach you for the first time the whole chapter. Um, you won't be the only one coming in for corrections, and definitely won't be the only one coming in to me for something. I also will have, might have to step out from time to time. So it's more of you work on a problem and then I kind of go over it and kind of clarify where you went wrong or what I was actually looking for. But it's more of like a discussion type of atmosphere. I don't want it to be where I explain or tell you how to do the problem. If it does seem to be like that all the time, then I may change the criteria for you and making sure you do notes and making sure you show me the work from your homework to still qualify. If you are struggling to understand these materials, you can come in and schedule time to meet with me or just come in during the week to work. I want to help you, but it's better to help you before you take the test so you can do better on it. And also something new this quarter, even if you don't meet the criteria for the half points on the test corrections, but you do complete the homework and the videos by the time that you make up the chapter tests, I will allow you to do the test corrections but for quarter points back. So I know it's not half, it's not full, but it's a little bit better than nothing. The important thing to me is that you understand what you got wrong and you understand how to do those problems going forward. All right. The only other thing I want to specify is keep in mind that this is a largely independent study school. So normally you'd be meeting with your math teacher in your math class 4 to 5 hours a week, and then you'd be spending an hour or so on homework at home. So you have to expect to spend a fair amount of time on your own, whether coming in or at home, to keep up. And there's a lot of self-accountability involved in a school like this, especially in math, because we just build on each other, build on everything that we learn. So I encourage you to keep up with the deadlines, especially to remain eligible for those test corrections. But also, if you need help, come get it. I really want to help you out. Use Remind to message me. I'm happy to help you out. Guys, go ahead and read the syllabus, that you understand the expectations. Write your name, student signature, parent signature, and the best number to reach your parent. I think in the next video I will kind of go over Canvas and starting to log into big ideas and then the Edpuzzle part. Alright, thanks.